Hello and welcome back to this week's video. This week's video is going to be all about what I'm reading in March, what I've read in February. I love these videos. These are some of my favourites to make. I love sharing and talking about books and all that good stuff. So, before I get into this video though, if you've not been here before, my name is Tracy Mayhew. I'm a self-published author writing YA fantasy and contemporary romances set in the UK. Also, before we start this video, some of you may have noticed something slightly different. I've got new glasses, and if you're on my newsletter already, you would have known about that. That went out on Friday. But basically, the upshot was I've been needing new glasses for a while, and I've been getting lots of headaches. And as you know, I suffer with migraines anyway. And I kind of thought a week or so ago, I'm going to go and get my eyes tested. When I got there, I was told that it had been 8 years since I had last gone to have my eyes tested, which I hadn't realised it had been that long. I knew it had been a long time, but I didn't realise it was quite that long. So slap on the wrist for me, and don't let it go that long. If you are putting off getting your eyes tested, please go. Basically, the upshot was I now need reading glasses and distance glasses. So these are my distance glasses, which I'm able to use while filming, which is good. And I'm going to model the reading glasses now, because why not? I can do this, it's my YouTube channel. So these are my reading glasses, which I kind of like. I was a little bit resistant to reading glasses at first, but seeing how well I could read with them and knowing how much time I spend on the computer and doing YouTube now, I knew I needed them, so I got a nice pair. So I'm happy with that. It's a bit of a learning curve though, because when I look at my phone, I find that sometimes my vision goes a bit double visioned, and I'm like, oh, I need to swap glasses. So I think it's going to be a little while before I really am comfortable with swapping all the time, but I'll get there. Right, so on with this week's video. No more wasting time talking about my glasses and my eye health. So, as you know from last month, I was reading Murtagh by Christopher Paolini. I finished that one in February. I must admit, I was also supposed to be reading Feel Good Productivity, but having finished this, I went straight on to this bad boy, and read Inheritance as well, both on my Kindle. I was not lifting these. This is a good workout, by the way, but I was not taking these to school with me. So I've now read the whole of the Inheritance cycle by Christopher Paolini. Really enjoyed it again. Love the climax in Inheritance, the last book, where Galbatorix finally gets his comeuppance. And I really liked seeing and reminding myself how we went from defeating Galbatorix to getting to the point where the story actually ends. Because it's not just, oh, we've defeated the evil king and that's the end of the story. We see a lot more of what goes on afterwards, which I found really interesting as well on a third, fourth, fifth reading. I really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed both. So now, for this month, yay, I'm finally reading Christopher Paolini's Murtagh. As you all know, I got this for Christmas, and I've been chomping at the bit to read it ever since. So it was inevitable that when I finished Murtagh, I went straight on to Inheritance to get to this one. So, there's my bookmark. Yeah, so I've read quite a few. I've read about 178 pages, and by the way, look how cute this bookmark is. Love them. Love magnetic bookmarks, but these I've got a whole set of them from Amazon. I think maybe one day I'll post the set because they're just cute. But yeah, so I'm about 178 pages in, and I'm really enjoying it. It's quite different tone to Eragon, but that's okay. I expected it to be a different tone to Eragon because obviously it's not Eragon's voice anymore, it's Murtagh. And Murtagh was one of my favourite characters from the Inheritance cycle, so it's really good to see his point of view and get into his mind. But I will be bringing a more in-depth review of this next month in April, so watch out for that one. But what I'll do is I'll read the blurb for this, just so you know what it's about. So, Murtagh. The world is no longer safe for the dragon rider Murtagh and his dragon Thorn. An evil king has been toppled, and they are left to face the consequences of the reluctant role they played in his reign of terror. Now they are hated and alone, exiled into the outskirts of society. Throughout the land, hushed voices whisper of brittle ground, and a faint scent of brimstone is in the air, and Murtagh senses that something wicked lurks in the shadows of Alagasia. So begins an epic journey into the unknown, as Murtagh and Thorn must find and outwit a witch veiled in mystery. In this gripping novel, starring one of the most popular characters from Christopher Paolini's blockbuster Inheritance cycle, a dragon rider must discover what he stands for in a world that has abandoned him. Murtagh is the perfect book with which to enter the world of Eragon for the first time, or to joyfully return. And I think that's the thing. You don't need to have read the Inheritance cycle to start with this one. You get a pretty good roundup of what happened in the first series, in the previous series, and this is very much from Murtagh's point of view. So really, it's almost like at the moment I'm feeling like this is a standalone. So I feel like if you haven't read the Inheritance cycle, this would be a really good introduction to that world. And then if you wanted to go on to the Inheritance cycle, it wouldn't disrupt the reading of this. So just bear that in mind. If you've wondered what this is like, this is a really good introduction to that world, and to the world of Dragon Riders. And my next book, I'm keeping it to 2 books this month, I think. I'm going to be reading Ali Abdaal, Feel Good Productivity. I have read it. I'm up to about 50% mark, I think. I'm really enjoying it. I'm not going to say too much now, because what I plan to do with this book and with other books that are non-fiction, businessy, writing-related books, I was going to read the book and then bring you a dedicated video for that, like with my top takeaways from each book. So once I've read that, I will be doing a YouTube video based solely on what I've learned from here and why I think it's good and what's interesting about the book. So you can look forward to that. I'm hoping it will be in April, but I'm not going to promise it's going to be in April because I have to finish the book. And I'm not sure how long it's going to take me, because for March I will be taking a little bit of a step back from YouTube and things like that, just so that I can concentrate more on my writing. More on that next week, in next week's video. But yeah, so look out for an update, a video about Feel Good Productivity. I will be back next month with a roundup of my March reads and a review of Murtagh. Let me know if you've read either of those, or even the Inheritance cycle by Christopher Paolini. I'd love to meet more Eragon fans on here. Let me know what you loved about it. If you've read Murtagh, no spoilers, but let me know what you think about it and if you'd recommend it as well. And again, if you've read Feel Good Productivity, or if you're reading it, let me know how you're finding it, what your takeaways from that book. So yeah, until next time, I will be back with another video next week, but that will probably be my final video for a little while. As I say, I'm taking a step back just to concentrate on writing for a little while. But until then, you can check out another video over here, somewhere over here, and until then, I will see you next week. Have a great week. See ya.